So how do you create a brand that truly represents who you are and the products you sell, as well as building a business that you can scale online? That is what this podcast will help you do. My name is Henry Kaminski Jr., and welcome to the Brand Doctor Podcast.
Let me just make this statement loud and clear. Jersey's here, Jersey's here.
What is shaking, everybody? Welcome to another Brand Doctor live stream. I am your host, Henry Kaminski Jr., aka the Brand Doctor from uniquedesignz.net. And today I want to showcase a funnel that has generated $1.9 million in revenue over the past 16 months. And I want you to really pay attention to one thing. And that one thing is simplicity. Okay. I see a lot of people trying to make these intricate funnels. And listen, back in the day, I had funnels that looked like a tangled mess. And I spent hours trying to figure out, how is all this going to play out in the long run? How is all this going to work and actually create revenue and profits for me that I'm going to be happy with without all the hassle and the frustration? And one of the things that I realized was simplicity is king. Just simplifying the process, not only for yourself, but for your customers. And the reason why I want to highlight this today is because everybody wants $1 million funnel. They want to get into the 2 Comma Club. They want to do millions of dollars worth of sales and revenues using funnels. But they forget the one vital piece that makes their funnel actually convert. I shared a case study earlier today on Clubhouse with my audience about Lady Boss, Brandon and Kaylin Paulin from Lady Boss. We helped them create that brand that went on to make millions upon millions of dollars. And I remember talking to Brandon and seeing that shift in his mentality and his approach to branding, because before they were Lady Boss, before Kaylin was Lady Boss, it was called Tool Time, and you could see the funnels were very amateur looking. The brand was very fragmented. There's all different types of colors and fonts, and the messaging was not clear, and it was just all over the place, right? And if Brandon ever sees this, he'll laugh. But I remember Brandon coming to me when he was first getting into the game. And when I told him it was going to be like $500 to build a funnel out, he was like, and this is when I was charging $500 to build funnels out. He was like, no way. That is way too expensive. There's no way I'm spending that on a funnel. And then fast forward when he got bit by the branding bug and Kaylin got bit by the branding bug, they were like, oh, I see. The only way we're going to get to 10 figures plus is if we brand. And so he came back around and he's like, Henry, we have this, we figured it out. It's Lady Boss, but we need somebody to help us sort of brand that. And so that I came back around and Brandon cut me a check for way more than $500. And we built it out. And that is the key part that I want you guys to really pay attention to here is when you build a brand first, now your funnel has something to actually live on, right? And that's what Brandon and Kaylin did. They built that solid foundation, and then they started putting funnels on top of that. And then that's where they saw the exponential growth. So I'm going to share with you a quick little funnel that has literally generated $1.9 million in 16 months right after this quick little message. All right, so let's dive into this. Big shout out to Joshua Small, by the way. You rock, he says. Thank you so much, Joshua. So let's talk about this funnel, okay? Well, let me share with you sort of the foundation of it and how it's built in and all of that. So you get a little bit of a background of how this funnel is connected to the brand, right? So the funnel right now is the brand assessment with Henry. And that is connected on my website at the homepage and all the other pages that allow this functionality. So what happens is you come to my website or you scroll around, no matter where you go, you're going to find this button here to book a brand assessment. Okay. So you click on this and this is where the funnel begins. Okay. Now, you're going to laugh when you see how simple this funnel actually is. So book your brand assessment today. Quick little subtitle there. The assessment will help you gain clarity and focus of where you are right now, where you want to go, and identify the challenges and obstacles that you'll need to overcome in order for you to achieve your business goals. Okay. This video right here is 1 minute and 16 seconds. And all it does is ask the audience, are you struggling with these 3 things? And if so, then I highly recommend you book this brand assessment. Okay. Underneath that, we have 3 3 testimonial mashup videos. And then we have the order form to book the assessment. That is it. That is the funnel. So you're probably saying, Henry, that is so freaking simple. How has that generated so much revenue in a pretty dense period of time? And here's what I'm going to tell you. A tremendous amount of brand. That's how that simple little funnel has been able to generate that much revenue. So let's break this down a little bit so you guys have an idea of why it's structured this way. Okay. This is a qualification process. Okay. A lot of people do these qualifications for free. I don't, because I know that brand assessment is going to get them clarity and focus, whether or not they move forward into the bigger program. So that's time, that's value. People that pay attention. So there's no no-shows. I've never had a no-show. But when I used to do these assessments for free, it used to clog the hell out of my calendar and people wouldn't show up. I'd be all pissed. So what happens is when you book the assessment, on the other end of that, there is a very simple application. You don't have to call it an application, but a questionnaire that's really going to help me understand this person before they get on a Zoom call with me. So I have some background. I have some direction. I have some symptoms, if you will, that are going to help me understand what their challenges are. And so when we get on that call, it's a much more pointed call. And I have their undivided attention because they paid for it. They put some skin in the game. I had a client say to me, you know, I get it. You don't want tire kickers. And for the value and the information that you're going to deliver, you got to pay for it. So that's why they book that call and pay for it, is because they know that there is a value level to that after they get done with that call, that information and that insight is going to be well worth more than the $300. Right? So there's a lot of psychology behind this funnel. As simple as it is, it's doing a lot of things. It's doing a lot of things. And so I'm very vocal with the price points and what's going to happen before they even book this assessment. So in this short video, I tell them, upon the review of this assessment, I may recommend the Brand Accelerator program, and that program begins at $25,000. That's either going to qualify the person or disqualify the person. And that's going to help that person make the decision of whether or not this makes sense for them. When you are that clear with who it is that you want to serve, your funnel gets a lot more optimized and a lot more cleaner and simplified. And the people that come through it are going to be high caliber, high quality people. And so you don't have to make this a daunting task for a prospect. Just be upfront with them and basically tell them this is what's going to happen. And be done with it. Have your social proof and be done with it. It's not hard. People look at my funnel all the time and they're like, oh, Henry, that's so simple. Yes, it is very simple, but here's where most people are different from me. I have built a tremendous amount of brand equity around this funnel by putting out content like this, by creating rooms in Clubhouse, by connecting with my audience, creating community in my Facebook group, the Brand Doctors Hangout, and being present very, very consistently. And really identifying who it is that I truly want to serve. I had a question this morning. The guy asked me, like, what do you want? What is your objective with Clubhouse? And I said, well, I'm looking to curate a community of mid six-figure entrepreneurs that want to scale to 7, or 7-figure entrepreneurs that want to scale to 8. And they're looking to build a deeper connection with their audience. They're looking to build unique experiences to connect with that audience or to deliver to their clients. And so that's a very specific audience. That weeds out all the newbies completely. And so there's a specific way you need to communicate with those people because it's a niche. It's a niche. So that's how this funnel's been so successful, is because I know my audience better than they really understand themselves. And I know what they value and what they don't value. And it's demonstrated in this funnel by the way that I communicate with them and the elements on it. They're looking for social proof. They're looking for a clear understanding of who I am, what I do, why I do it, and how I'm going to be able to help them. And then it just comes down to a formality after that. Because they're like, okay, here's my guy. He's got a done for you program. And within 90 days or less, I'm going to have XYZ. So I believe in my heart of hearts, and from the experience that my clients have gotten from my help, is when we simplify the process and the experience, and we refine the message and the articulation of value to that specific person, that's the magic. But the problem is my clients are inside the bottle. They cannot see the outside label and what it reads until they hire somebody like me that says, you're doing it all wrong. Or you're doing it right, but it just needs to be tweaked like this. And then they're like, aha. Some of the biggest moves I've made in business were from simple tweaks. Hiring Russell Brunson and having him look at the outside view and giving me that perspective. Brilliant. Other coaches, other mentors that are seeing from the outside what I can't see and giving that feedback and direction was brilliant, because if you're an action taker, you'll be able to implement. But you don't necessarily have to be an action taker and not be able to implement. But what I'm saying is I took action and I got it done, right? My clients are, just do this for me. I'll go through the process. I'll do whatever it takes, but just do this for me, because I don't have the time. I'm trying to scale this business. I can't be building funnels. I'm not going to be sitting here playing with logos and WordPress sites and things like that. My time is not well spent in that area. So I need you to come in and bang this out for me, right? And then they just come through the process and it's done deal. So the point that I'm trying to make here is this. Yes, I want to plug the shit out of my program because it's a phenomenal program. But I also want to show you how simple it could be if you built brand before you try to build funnel. Because that's the biggest mistake that I say, is people try to build funnel before brand, and then they launch, and then they want to know why it doesn't work. So you don't need to make this difficult. You don't. But I can promise you, when you get really clear and focused on who it is that you're trying to serve, and you know how they want to be communicated to, that's when things get easy, right? The hardest part is doing that legwork up front, is diving deep into who your profiles are, your audience profiles or your client profile. We call them client profiles. Going deep into that realm so that you know. Right? Somebody that can't afford this program will watch this video and say, this dude's out of my league. That's exactly what you want. That's exactly what you want. You don't want to waste their time, and you don't want to waste yours. If you don't know who you're speaking to, and you put up a funnel like this, you're going to get a bunch of phone calls. You're probably going to get a bunch of people booking on your calendar that's going to bind it all up, and they're going to be wastes of time. Is that what you want? No. So I'm on a hell-bent mission to really help people understand what brand is. And it's building the proper experiences for your prospects. It's about creating a feeling that is going to leave some sort of impression on them so that they either connect with it or they don't connect with it. And there's no right or wrong here. But you got to know who you're serving. It just goes down to that 1,000 times over and over and over. And I'll beat it. I'll beat it down to oblivion because people just still aren't getting it. I know what they want. They want to serve their clients at a high level. They want premium clients. They want a deeper connection with their audience. But you're not going to be able to do that without a brand. So when you think brand, I don't want you to think fancy funnel or clean looking funnel, or it's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, okay, because I know my audience so well, I know how they're going to feel when they hit this page. I know this is the experience that they want to go through because it's so streamlined and so simple and so clear. Think about the high-level clients that you've served in the past. They're pretty straightforward. They're pretty direct. At least the clients that I've served at this level have been. And so we need to be direct back. And that's where you create relevancy. That's where you create connection. That's where you create feeling. And so, yes, this is simplicity at its best. But the only way this was able to get simple is because I've spent a lot of time, money, and energy in building the brand. And you're done. That's it. So I'm hoping this was helpful. I'm hoping you got some nugget or two out of this and understand that you won't have a successful funnel if you don't build a solid brand first. And it's just the name of the game, guys. But I'll have you answer this question rhetorically. What are you looking to do with your business? Are you looking to make a quick buck with a quick funnel? Then go fast and cheap. Go that route. If you're looking to build sustainability, if you're looking to build longevity, if you're looking to build relationship, if you're looking to build community, if you're looking to build legacy, if you're looking to build something that is going to perhaps outlive you and impact thousands, if not millions of people, then brand will always, always be the priority. So it's up to you guys. It's completely up to you. I had a guy come in Clubhouse today and say, just go to Fiverr and get your logo done. Why would you spend a lot of money on a logo? Logos don't mean anything. Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. If there's no meaning attached to the logo. And that meaning or that feeling or that experience attached to that logo is what we call brand. So this is some deeper stuff here, but I got to go here sometimes because there is a huge misunderstanding or lack of knowledge of around what branding actually is and how it fits in and why it's so important to business. We hear all of the gurus and all of the thought leaders saying, what are we? We're emotional creatures and we buy on emotion 99% of the time. And I agree with that statement. So what evokes emotion? Brand. That's it. That's it at the end of the day. So Would love to get your feedback. Would love to get your comments. Drop me an email, info@uniquedesignz.net. Shoot me a PM. Drop some comments underneath these videos. I am happy to open this conversation up. If you have any specific questions in regards to funnel building or trying to get a funnel architected properly and branded properly, then reach out, book your brand assessment, and let's have a conversation. Oh, I'm sorry. There was a guy here that says, show the funnel before you leave. I guess he came a little late. So here it is real quick, my friend. This funnel is attached to my website, right? And then this is the funnel, right? And I'll get into this in a second. But Joshua Small, is there a less expensive program than 15K? Yeah, we could probably do something around the 15K mark, because it's going to come with some strategy that I want to workshop with you before we build it out, because I want to make sure that we're building the right funnel for the right people and making sure that the language, the messaging, the steps, the experience is what it should be. So it's not just, we're going to jump on a quick call, Joshua, and within a week, I'm going to bang out a funnel for you. No, it's probably going to take 2 to 3 weeks to do this correctly. So if you're willing to make that investment in that time and get this thing right, then we could probably do something around the 15K. So Robert said, Josh, I'm a client of Henry's. Even though it might seem like a lot, it will be worth it. Henry changed my life. I appreciate that, Robert. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. I understood. Do you work in? I understand. Do you work in go high level? Yeah, when you say high level, Joshua, what do you mean? Like, when I think high level, I think just skin in the top. If you're asking, do we go deep? We go super deep. Like, I want to make sure that this funnel is architected for the right client of yours. That's what my focus and goal is, because I want that funnel to convert. Oh, the software. Yeah, we have a team that'll actually help. We have a team that will build it. Like, you don't have to do anything. The only thing that you have to do, Joshua, is workshop with me directly. The heavy lifting will be done by my excellent design team and dev team. Like, we don't want you touching that stuff, because if I know you, Josh, like, your time is much more valuable than you trying to fiddle with funnels. That had a nice little run. That had a nice little ring to it, right? Josh doesn't want to fiddle with funnels. He's got things that he needs to focus in on in the business to make sure that he's using his time wisely. And so I hope that helps. Josh says, good, exactly. You get me. Yeah, Josh shouldn't be fiddling with funnels. He's got a brand to build, right? He's got business connections to make, right? So Josh, we could talk via PM and see if this is a good fit for you. But getting back to this funnel real quick, somebody asked if they could see it again. So real quickly, this is the funnel that has generated the 1.9 million in 16 months. It's so simple. And it has the proper language. It has the right elements. We have testimonial mashups. It's got the qualification process, right? Which is a paid assessment. It's not cheap. Right? It's not cheap, but it's not expensive either. For the value that you're going to get out of this, it's peanuts compared to what you're going to make, right? And the value that it's going to deliver. So, but the reason why this has been able to be such a simplistic funnel is because of the amount of brand that has been built around it. And that's the important part. And when I say brand, I don't mean just the way it looks, right? It's about the feeling. It's about the experience. It's about the connection that I'm making with a very specific client. And that has helped me scale. That has helped me create this, because that's how you architect the right funnel. All right. So I hope that makes sense. I think his name is Thammy Dubé. But that's it. I mean, you could try to recreate this, and this is, people will come in here now and try to hack the shit out of this, but it's not going to do them any good if they don't have their branding in place, the proper messaging, the proper positioning, and the proper experience and connection with that specific audience. So that's why I say I'm so anti-hacking, because people just go and they try to just like duplicate it, but they don't realize why it was built the way it was built and the inner workings of that, right? And that's why they fail, right? Well, we did everything perfect. We did everything identical, and it's still not working. Well, your brand, it's not branded properly. It's not branded properly. And as you continue to follow me, guys, and pay attention to what I'm saying to you, you'll start to, this is a process. This is going to be a learning experience for me as well. But when I'm speaking of brand, I'm going to start, you're eventually going to be trained in, when you hear brand, you're going to automatically say, okay, when Henry's talking about brand, he's talking about experience. He's talking about connection. And he's talking about feeling. And that's going to help you tremendously sort of adapt what brand truly is. Because you cannot sell without establishing those three things: connection, experience, and feeling. And that's why I will always hold branding over sales. Because without those three things, nobody's pulling out their credit card and spending money. That's it. Bottom line. So, have an amazing day, guys. This was a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing more of this kind of stuff moving forward, because I am on a hell-bent mission, my friends, to help you guys get a better understanding of why brand is so important and how it generates the confidence in your brand, how it generates the clarity in your brand, how it generates the focus in your brand, which allows you to create some great experiences and deliver value at a very high level. A very high level. So, have an amazing day, and I'll catch you on the next one real soon. Take care.